Why are we responsible for everyone's feelings? Get off the fucking couch and go do something about it if you don't wanna feel sad.
Gawkilf!
Welcome back to Gawkilf. Today I'm going to discuss what's happened to me for the past 200 days. It's day 199. I just came home from the gym training chest. You know how it is, Thursday. And basically in this video, I'm going to talk about the psychological things that have happened throughout this process of training 200 days in a row. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be the last day, but I'm hitting arms, so I'm not going to struggle to find my way to the gym. But yeah, so today we're basically going to have a little bit of a journey walking through the whole process of me training every day for 200 days. And to start off, if you haven't watched the previous videos about my gym progress of 2020, I would recommend watching that one first, because there I discuss some of the things that have happened throughout that year. And basically this whole, the date when this 200 marker starts was the 19th of October, and tomorrow, the 9th of May, is exactly 200 days since that day. And basically since 19th of October, I've trained every single day, no rest days, no nothing. And today I will discuss everything that's happened to me basically. I will also upload a video tomorrow which will be discussing all the physical things that have happened, so all the gains I've made, some progress photos and these kind of things. But in this episode, it's primarily focused on what's happened inside my head. So to start it off, in the previous video, I discussed how I was feeling February 2020 and the start of 2020. I was like, how am I not able to do 10 pull-ups? How have I not hit 100 kilos on bench press? And basically at that point of time, me and my friend, COVID pandemic just started. So I went home and basically me and my gym bro, we went to the gym pretty much every day that month. May came and then we calmed it down a little bit. I came back, I had exams. And then when summer hit, it was like, yeah, I was in shape. So I didn't have that much pressure to perform better. And I was satisfied, right? But then in September, August, I started football practice. And the season started, so I was playing soccer twice a week and matches and everything. And in October, that's when the season stopped because we played the last games. And then I had full time to spend it at the gym, and that's when things took off. So in October, I finally had the time to actually spend time in the gym. I've been helping new students get into place I had some things that had been going on outside of like gymming and fitness, which was taking up a lot of time, which made me unable to train every single day. But once I was finished with that, I'd finished football practice, I had no more excuses, and that's when things started to change. So my gym schedule was then to train chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, chest on Thursday, arms like biceps, triceps on Friday, Saturday train back again, and then on Sunday I'd hit shoulders. Throughout this time, I've also had football practice every Sunday and every other Wednesday pretty much. So it's been around 2 football practices each week and 7 times to the gym. So it's been incredible, and I've become a crazy person. I've been called a psycho. People don't understand how I'm able to train this much, and I mean, I'm addicted. There's not really any way to hide that fact. But basically, I've been hearing about habits. They basically come into place after 66 days. So if you have a habit and you try doing it for 66 days, after 66 days, that will come automatically and you won't need to think about it. So when I had been training for around 50 days, I started to notice that it just felt so natural. Wake up, go to the gym, and then start my day. And at that time, for the first months, I also bought pre-workout, and basically this was insane. So for my birthday when I turned 19, my friend got me C4, this one right here, and I finished that in around September, and then I had 2 months where I didn't take any pre-workout, and then I bought the C4 Ultimate, and this was strong. This was strong. So for the first like 2 months, I was taking that. I took it like 4 times a week. I didn't feel like I needed it for legs, arms, and shoulders, so I usually only did it for back and chest. But this was incredible. Like, I was training, I didn't want to leave the gym. I would be there for 2 hours, and after I trained, you know, sweat running down my face, everything, I was like, maybe I should run, you know. And I would do some HIIT workout, listening to some crazy music and just like sprinting, you know. And I still had the energy, and when I left, I was like, okay, now I need to leave, because otherwise people are gonna be like, what's wrong with this guy? You can't train for 2.5 hours, you know. And I had no problem with it whatsoever. Like, I had to force myself to leave. When I didn't have any more exercises that I could do, that was when I was like, okay, now it's time to go home. So I did this for like 3 months, so from October to around January, mid-February. And in February, I started to notice a bunch of like, at that point, I'd been taking pre-workout for so long, so it stopped giving me like the kick, you know. So then I started to question, okay, maybe it's time for me to try to like cycle off this pre-workout, because I felt like when I was training chest, when I was training back, and I took pre-workout, it was fine. But when I would train shoulders, arms, and legs, I'd be so tired. It would feel like I was giving like 60% at the gym, and I was doing it, but I didn't feel as good while I was gymming. And then it started to become like, yeah, maybe I need to take pre-workout for these exercises as well, because I'm struggling to get into that mental zone, which I would get when I took pre-workout. And I tried like playing different music, tried a bunch of different things, and at that point it was like, no, it wasn't giving me the kick. I played louder music. I got all these notifications on my phone like, oh, you should turn down the volume, and made me pissed, you know. But that was when I was like, maybe I should stop taking pre-workout. And up until this point, I'd been growing so much. Like, I was around the same weight, but basically I'd lost like maybe 2 kilos of fat, but gained like 2 kilos of muscle. So it was like, fat was going down, muscles was going up, so they were like kind of in an equilibrium, and I was just getting stronger and stronger every single day, and it was ridiculous. Like, when I was training chest, I hit a new personal best like almost every single week, and the highest that I managed to get up to was 3 reps of 120 kilos, and it wasn't really a struggle. It was after I had done like 10 reps of 110 and 8 reps of 115, so it wasn't. Yeah, I probably could have lifted more, but at that point I was like, yeah, I'm satisfied with this. Like, I wanted to give 120 kilos a try, and basically when I did the first one, I was like, oh, I can do one more. And then I did 3 of them, and every single week for like a month and a half, I was just getting a new personal best, and I was feeling stronger than ever. And basically, when I finished pre-workout, I kind of looked on the labeling of it and realized that there was creatine inside it. And I think this played a big role to why I was seeing all these increases. Like, obviously there's other things inside the pre-workout that make you more stimulant, and you get in your zone and you get energy and all these things. But like, when I've taken creatine before, like, I've noticed that I get so much stronger. So after taking and stopping that, I realized that like, oh, I wasn't really intending to take creatine, but I accidentally took it, and that was, yeah, a rookie mistake. I mean, it was really fun getting all these higher figures, but it didn't feel like I was genuinely getting them, because I was cheating. Obviously creatine is legal and everything, but it's obviously enhancing my stats, if that makes sense. So I got so much stronger, and I really enjoyed it. But now when I stopped, it's been like, yeah, now 3 months without pre-workout. I've been struggling. So for the first like 2 weeks when I stopped, or basically I ran out, I didn't feel like I wanted to buy another can. And when I stopped, I realized that like, oh, it sucks to gym without it. Like, it was painful to go to the gym. Like, I would go and I just like felt so like out of form, you know. I was like sleepy. I just wasn't getting in my zone. Like, I was drowsy. When I tried lifting, I felt weaker, and it was just like, it felt like I was trying my best, but it was like I had no energy, and it felt like, man, that pre-workout really did something to my body. And so I was, yeah, I was like, now for the past 3 months, like I've been just forcing myself to go to the gym, even though like I've lacked motivation. And that's honestly because I don't understand what a rest day is at this point. Like, honestly, what is a rest day? Like, I like at this point, after training so many days in a row, like I've had so many friends tell me that, like, oh, but you need to rest, your muscles need to rest, otherwise they won't grow. I'm like, look at me, like, honestly, like I'm getting bigger than everyone around me, and people are like, oh yeah, but research on YouTube, I watched Athlete X or these kind of things, you need rest. I'm like, yeah, but when I train chest on Monday and Thursdays, there's still 3 days between those days for me, for that muscle group to rest. So it's not like, yeah, I'm training chest 3 days in a row. Okay, maybe that one time when I tried to train like Robert Frank for a week, that did occur, where I trained chest 4 days in a row. Pretty fun experience, but it killed me. But basically, like, no, like I don't believe in rest days anymore. Like, obviously I can feel now that, like, okay, yeah, maybe I would benefit from laying at home one day and just chilling, but at the same time, when I have felt like doing that, I'm like, why? Like, if you want to achieve your goals, why would you want to give a rest of, or like, why would you want to put your process on pause? And it feels like you got to give more than what anyone else is willing to do if you want to make it. And that's just been going on in my head the whole time. That's all I've been thinking about when I'm struggling. I'm just like, if I want to make it to the top, then I got to do what other people aren't willing to do. So every time I hear my friends saying, oh, you should rest, it's bad for you, blah, 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 I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I'm going to make it, you're not going to make it. And that's just been going on in my head. And that's been pretty much my motivator and driver for the past, like 200 days. And now, like, people are like, it feels like everyone around me who knows that I've been training so much are like, okay, yeah, but when's the tipping point gonna come? There's gonna come injuries, there's gonna come all these different things. And sure, I can see that if I was to continue training like this for like 3 years, 2 years, or whatever, there would come a point where my muscles would just be like, nah, I'm out, you know? But currently, that's not happened, and I've made like serious gains, and I'm so like proud of myself. But it's been pretty difficult, you know, like every time someone says something like that, it's like you feel like you're playing in a different league. Like I want to stay humble, but like I really feel that like the concept of relativity has been something that I've been thinking about a lot as well. And basically what I've been thinking about in regards to relativity has been like, if you're like, you know how you say that like you become the 5 people you're closest to, or the people you hang out with the most, and basically you compare yourself with the people you have in your friend group. And so if you're in a friend group and you have a few gym bros who also train, and maybe they train 3 times a week, if you then train 4 times a week, you feel like, oh, I'm doing a little bit more, I'm the alpha, you know, I'm the guy who's putting in the work, you know. But then you think about some other person who's training 5 times a week, and then all of a sudden you're not that guy who's been training the most. And basically I felt that like in my friend group I didn't have anyone who was pushing harder than me, and I had to push myself. And I know that like all the actual professionals, the people who compete and everything, they have the same mindset. They know that if they want to get to the top, they got to work harder than everyone. And that's why people like Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and these kind of people did make it, because they only focused on themselves. They didn't care what other people were saying, and they just kept going. And it's something that's been going in my mind, and I just felt like I've grown so much as a person, especially like my mindset. Like I just feel stronger and more secure in my own thoughts and my own choices. Like, even though it's like physical activity, like it's translated into many other things. Like obviously when you train, you gain confidence, but like the mindset of knowing that like, okay, I've been able to push through for 200 days at this point. And yeah, it's like 200 days is quite a lot. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like I can achieve anything, because the one thing in the world today that people can't fake, people can't take from you is your body. So you can buy anything in the world, but there's one thing that you will never be able to get without money, and that's a good physique. Like, okay, obviously if you have a personal trainer, you have a person making meals for you, like you have a chef, everything, obviously it will be easier, but you still got to put in that work, and that's what's going to separate you from the people around you. You can be the poorest person versus the richest person. If the poor person goes to the gym every single day, he'll have something that the rich person will never be able to achieve without putting in the time. And in today's world, I feel like it's the only thing that you can actually show off, which actually shows dedication, because many of the other things you can purchase, like if you have the money, you can purchase a certificate of a grade, you can get your way through different ways, but building a strong physique is something that you can never cheat your way through. And in the long run, that will show. Like if you were to take all these kind of illegal substances, then obviously you can get faster gains than someone who doesn't, but basically in the long run it's still going to even out, and the person that took it naturally is going to be on top. And that's something that motivates me as well. Like, I'm a university student, I really enjoy what I study, but I still feel like, okay, there's people out there who's gonna have it easier than me, and people who's gonna have it tougher than me. But a gym and training is something that everyone has a fair game, and this is where you can show where you really belong on the scale, and anyone can make it to the top. What I'm trying to achieve with this video is basically just let you guys understand that, like, it's possible. Like, obviously I have a pretty strong mental state and I really enjoy training, so it's obviously easier, but anyone can do this. No one's going to be able to say, no, you can't do it. If you train 1 hour a day, that's 4% of the day. Like, 1 out of 24, you can do the math yourself. Everybody has time for that. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram scrolling, if you just went out jogging for 30 minutes, that's more than anybody else is doing. You'll be doing, and you'll be getting so much further in life if you just spend 1 hour a day. And it doesn't matter what level you are on right now, like, anyone can make it. I just wish you guys would try it and see what happens. Like, obviously you're gonna get like tired, and I mean, before I did this, it wasn't that I had never trained before. Like, I'd still been consistently going to the gym like 3-4 times a week, and so I obviously had a pretty strong physique going into this challenge. But like, I feel for someone who's never like gone to the gym, obviously I wouldn't recommend training every single day for 200 days directly. I think that would come after maybe 2-3 months when you're starting to get the hang of it. But if you wanted to, then I would take it pretty easy in the beginning and just get yourself to the gym every single day, because just going there doing something is more than anything you were doing before, and that's what's gonna put you ahead of your former self, and that's what's going to make you improve. You're going to feel proud of yourself, and you're going to be going in a direction which is going to make you healthier. And yeah, I hope you guys give it a try. Like, 200 days is a lot, but anyone can do it. Like, you can do it. If it means that you go to the gym and walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes, that's so good of you. If you want to start this challenge, just write to me on Instagram, and I'll keep you accountable. I'll ask you every single day. I don't care. I'm gonna take that time out of my day because I want you to be a better person of yourself. And yeah, feel free. Like, the name is the same, and I will keep you accountable. I'll talk to you, I'll give you a call, whatever. I'll get to know you, and we'll become gym bros as well, because that's what this is all about. It's not, I don't see myself as some demigod trying to be above anyone. I see everybody as my friends, and as people I just want to help. I just want you guys to feel better with yourself. It's like so much negativity in this world, and I feel like gymming is one of the best ways where you can just get your like free therapy and just escape from everything else, because it's that one thing that no one will ever be able to take away from you, and it's truly one of the things that's going to make you feel better about yourself.